Good day, guys. As is known to all, Diablo 2 has many rumors such as the Black Tower key stuff. They are global, of course. Yet, we do have some quite localized rumors, only spread among specific player communities. As in this video, let's see what happened among Chinese-speaking players. This rumor is about the unique petrified wand, Carin shard. Carin is a person's name that should be transliterated when localizing. However, the localizing team of official traditional Chinese version used the same term as Decade Cain's Cain. Very confusing. That's definitely improper, and many of my folks tried to fix it. But they also made a mistake, as the spelling of Carin is too similar to Cain. They got totally confused, and in their fixing, Carin shard become Cain shard. This rumor is widely spread among Chinese-speaking players, even now. Over 65% of my folks believe it's Cain shard in English version. Actually, it indeed should be Cain shard, but that's another story about Blizzard's typos and their weird way of typo fixing in TBL table. I'll make another video about it later. This rumor is quite recent but spread by some very popular Chinese-speaking YouTubers, so many new players are misled by them. They said the Mongyu mode Extra Strong would give unique monsters 150% extra damage bonus, which is extremely horrible in Hell difficulty. Well, Blizzard North was not that stupid. They hadn't made such an overpowered feature. Yes, in Mongyu mode table, the value is that high, but its bonus is readjusted in another table called difficulty levels, so the real value is only 99% in Hell difficulty. Halabard's Reign is an almost useless unique barbarian helmet. But who is Halabard? One of my most respected senpai player, Flower-dropping Cave Lady, gave her answer over 20 years ago. The North Goddess, Hell. Well, she's one of the most honorable figure among Chinese-speaking players. Back in early 2000s, she discovered many cultural origins of Diablo 2 items and fixed many official localizing teams' translating mistakes all by herself. However, due to lack of information back then, some of her studies were wrong, and Halabard is one of them, as the stats of this item have nothing to do with such goddess. And later in the new canon, Halabard is declared to be a barbarian warlord, titled as the Conqueror, that fits the base item. Well, this rumor is all about cultural difference. In some East Asian languages, such as Chinese or Japanese, term for fire could be used to describe anything that illuminates, and will-o-wisps are just illuminators. So in Chinese, they are called ghost fire, and in Japan, foxfire. As the result, it's quite reasonable that many of my folks thought this item is related to will-o-wisps. While the official localizing team translated in a different way, they believe that the official translators are wrong, but in fact, it's correct. This is another mistake of Flower-dropping Cave Lady. She inferred that Nagel is German for horseshoe, and this ring is a salute to the European legend Lucky Horseshoe, as it grants you extra magic find. Well, sounds reasonable, but in fact, Nagel in German has no meaning of horseshoe, just equal to nail in English, which is finger or toenail and spike-type nail. Furthermore, the Blizzard new canon team also proved it has nothing to do with the Lucky Horseshoe. They declared it was forged by a black wizard in a high tower. The unique partisan Pierre Tombal Coant is clearly a French origin item, as we all know that Pierre Tombal means tombstone in French. But what is the Coant? Once again, Flower-dropping Cave Lady said it's halberd in French. Well, I looked up this word in all French dictionaries I can find, and no result. Also Googled it, and nothing but some surnames. Luckily, I was in charge of Plug Y14's Chinese localizing, so I had the chance to ask about it to its author, Johann Nicolas, a real Frenchman. He gave me a direct answer that Coant is not a French word at all and impossible to be halberd in French. But I have my own inference that it might be a typo for Guhan, that means running in French. A running tombstone sounds quite reasonable for this item because in earlier versions it grants necromancer skills instead of barbarians. However, Yoan disagreed with me and said he doesn't think it's a type for Guhan. It's a proper name that should not be translated. I respect his opinion, but would keep mine as well. A running tombstone sounds really cool. Well, in old canon, this might not be a rumor, but the truth. Either the set names or base items fit this theory. However, the new canon law completely removed this possibility, because in Diablo Immortal, Tal Rasha was wearing this set very alive. If you are an advocate of the new canon, this theory should be considered as a rumor and should not be accepted. Another study of a flower-dropping cave lady, and widely accepted by Chinese-speaking players. In her descriptions, the proof sounds solid. William the Conqueror's father died when he was very young, so he was an orphan. Guillaume is French for William. Wilhelm is German for William. Magnus is Latin for the Great. And Wiston is an important place in British Isles that conquered by William the Conqueror. Well, seems romantic, but unfortunately, that's not true. First, let's see the orphan part. This mistake also because of a cultural difference. In medieval Chinese, term for orphan means a fatherless child, but in English, only a child with both parents dead could be considered as an orphan. So William the Conqueror is not an orphan. The French and German William part is correct, but that's just a name, could not be counted as solid evidence directing a certain William. As for Magnus, William the Conqueror had never been titled as Magnus or the Great in history. The last is Wiston. I googled a lot and found no place with that name in British Isles. Maybe flower-dropping cave lady confused this name with something else over 20 years ago. This is a big rumor. Over 90% Chinese-speaking players believe that. The origin is unknown, but I'm sure the rumor has been there for at least 15 years. They've even declared that there were official records proof. Someone said in Diablo 1 dialogues, I checked, no. Someone said in Diablo 2 manual, I checked, no. Someone said in Book of Cain, I checked, no. Someone said in Book of Tyrael, I checked, no. Someone said in Diablo 3 dialogues, also no. I checked all the official documents and not a bit of trace that could prove this blacksmith have any military experience, let alone being a paladin. So I can only infer that maybe it's because the paladin set is named after him. Come on, he's a blacksmith. He can forge anything for any classes. Actually, the reason why Blizzard used this name on Paladin set is because in real life, Griswold was a famous kitchen tool manufacturer, and their logo is a cross. In the old canon, the Zakhrum's holy symbol is also a cross, just like real-life Catholic Church. Matriarch Avina is definitely the biggest rumor among Chinese-speaking players. It's accepted by over 99% of my folks. This rumor is also the mistake of flower-dropping cave lady's study. She said the apostrophe in Mavina of the Mavina set is an abbreviation of Matriarch Avina. Well, for those familiar with abbreviating rules of European languages, this is totally impossible. First, apostrophes can only abbreviate syllables, such as I will to I'll, because to cus, come on to command, randark to randark. It could never abbreviate a long word like matriarch to a single letter M. And the most important is, there's definitely no abbreviation form that could turn a person's name's first letter into lowercase in any European language. So what does this apostrophe stand for? After checking several baby name sites, I found that there are two different pronunciations for this name, Mavina. The more popular one's stress is in the second syllable, read as Mavina, while the other's stress syllable is in the first one, read as Mavina. You know that in English version of Diablo 2, Blizzard never used diacritic marks on any letter, so they use the apostrophe to express Mavina. This should be the correct explanation, as when seeing the name Mavina, most people would read the Mavina version. Actually, I've already discussed about this with flower-dropping cave lady 10 years ago, and she agreed with my theory. But she had been AFK for many years back then and had no interest in reappearing to update her studies. So this rumor kept spreading until now, still spreading. Okay, this is the top 10 Diablo 2 rumors among Chinese-speaking players. If you are interested and want to know more about Diablo trivia among my folks, please just subscribe this channel and more videos incoming.